Well, good morning, everybody. Lisa Allen here with the fantastic West Treleaven, owner-operator of the Ultimate Water Shop, delivery known as Mount Doug Springs. He has been supplying me and my family in this community with aqua for many, many years, Wes. So thank you in advance for that. So he's been kind enough to join us for a lovely interview because we're all about supporting local businesses. So without further ado, because I know he's a busy man, let's start this. So describe your business.
Well, the Ultimate Water Store is a retail shop, but it also has a water bottling plant in the back. So it does all the purification, all the preparation, the sanitization of the water. And then we have a fill station. And so we don't have to bring the water in, it's right there. We also have value-added products like oxygenated water, and we also bring in some spring water from Salt Spring Island, and that you really can't get like in the city. You know, you need to have it in a remote place where the land is pure and there's no contaminants around, and that's exactly where we're getting that from. So three main products, and then we supply the hardware that dispenses the water, some other products. So that's basically it. The other half of the business, and the bigger half of the business, is the delivery company, Mount Doug Springs, and the regular customer, the normal customer get a delivery once every 2 weeks from us, and we just replace whatever bottles they set up for us. And that's both residential and business and commercial.
Covering all the bases.
Covering all the bases.
Thank you for that. So why did you choose this profession?
Well, you know, it's a funny story. About 20 years ago, I came up with this idea to water people's lawns and gardens. Then Victoria had a water shortage. They hadn't increased the size of the reservoir, and they were running out. And I had a spring on my property, and I bought a tanker truck and went around to municipalities and residences, businesses that had shrubs and things like that I knew they wouldn't want them to die. And it looked like the water limitations was going to completely exclude anybody from watering their lawns or plants or anything. And I got customers, and had a banner year that year. And then a friend of mine told me that a fellow was selling his water bottling equipment, and since I did so well with the water theme, why don't I look at that? So I talked to the guy and realized that I could get the equipment for probably 10 cents on the dollar, and that was good for a good deal. And I built a home-based business from that, and delivered from my house in Gordon Hill. It was an acreage with a spring on it, and thus the Mount Doug Springs, right beside Mount Doug. And then we changed over to reverse osmosis water mostly because it looked like the demand for purified water was higher than spring water. And then we found a very good supplier on Salt Spring Island, like I mentioned. So we managed to able to do both. Our spring wasn't as good as theirs as far as the water quality, so why not sell the best? So we think we're selling the best spring water you can find.
And I can vouch for that.
Yeah. And then there were also the reverse osmosis and the oxygenated water. It all just kind of evolved from there into a much larger business with a storefront and much bigger. So it started off as home-based.
I love it. How serendipitous, you know,
Yeah.
paths cross and destiny awaits. So I guess, how did you get started? I guess that basically is it today.
Yeah, that's right. I think I gave you the bigger story.
That's a much better story. And then where are you originally from?
Well, I'm an island boy. I'm from Treleaven, and I lived the first 12 years of my life. And then moved around a little bit in my teens, but settled in Victoria when I was 17. So I've lived in Victoria now for 45 years.
Just wait till my husband gets that's
Yeah.
here. I don't know where we're
So
going.
I'm Island.
Island through and
Yeah.
through.
Yeah.
Well, that's great, Wes. So what has surprised you most when owning a
And you,
business?
okay. Well, no.
You know, the
Are
most
you okay
surprising
that way?
thing I have is
Okay.
the appreciation
I know.
that our customers have.
Breathe on your
Well, I'm always surprised at that. I'm thinking, I'm selling a product for money, and I'm a business owner, and it's a fair exchange. But people come back to me over and over again with gratitude for what we do. We're providing something that's healthy and that they like the taste of. And
Hey, doesn't
that's
matter.
the one
Hey.
thing. The other thing every once in a while I get surprised
We
by
celebrate those
is
things whenever you
um,
can.
I'll have a drink of our water now. After almost 20 years of doing this, I still say, dang, that tastes good. And it's surprising to me. It's only water, you know? But that's, yeah.
The TLC.
You go TLC. Yeah, a little added in. That's right.
That is fantastic. So what was it like when you first started?
Well, you know, I think of myself as Elmer Fudd with my shotgun, looking for customers to capture. That's, you know, it was pretty desperate at the beginning, trying to win people over, brand new companies, doing a brand new thing. How can we trust you when there's big companies that do, you know, must do a much better job than you do, and, you know, and I remember the celebration we had when we got our first 50 customers. It was, you know, and those days I would go out and do 40 sales calls a day. I would drop off brochures and business cards to about 40 people a day, 6 days a week, just to try and get this thing running. And so I have a real empathy for startups.
Good on you. Okay. Well, what would your customers say they love most about your business? I mean, I could at least say amazing customer service and quality product.
Well, yeah, there you go. And I think that following up on that, if the customer has a problem, their delivery day got missed, or their water cooler has a problem. Like yesterday, I had a man who something inside his water cooler broke, and he brought his water cooler into the store. And I found the part in my parts bin and fixed it for him, and I didn't charge him. And he's very happy. So there's that initial thing where yes, I like the product, Wes, and yes, I like the service, and you're prompt, and you know you don't charge these type of things. But I think it's that second effort, you know, where somebody doesn't want to phone in with a problem. You know, I think you charged me too much. I think you put an extra bottle on my bill that shouldn't have been there. And I just go, oh, let's fix that right away. You know, we don't want you to be distressed by thinking that you're overcharging us. And so I think that's an appreciation.
Have transparent communication and not be afraid to do so.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh. What are some odd requests you've had, if any?
I had one odd one years ago. Haven't done it for a long, long time. I got pretty close to one elderly woman, a friend, and obviously who was lonely, and she moved, and she didn't have anybody to move her. And this was back when I was quite a bit younger. And so I emptied the delivery van on the weekend, and I went and actually moved her whole suite for her. So yeah, that was a strange request, you know, to have a water bottling delivery guy, you know, come and but she was lost. She really needed help.
Supporting community and supporting local.
And seniors.
And seniors, absolutely. Well said. Now that the truck has passed there. All right. So what were the factors that made you choose this neighborhood? Because We're in Admiral's Walk, which is Unit 104,
Yes.
and the address was 1505 Admiral's Road.
Yes, Admiral's Walk Mall in View Royal. Well, at first I was a little bit put off by the idea of coming to View Royal. I got a phone call from the original owner of the Ultimate Water Store, and he wanted to get onto the business. The people that he had working in the store wanted to go do something else, and he couldn't do it himself. He had another career, and so I looked at it, and the price was right, and I needed to expand. I needed a bigger facility, but I really spent most of my time in Victoria and Gordon Head, and I thought this is quite a, but it isn't a big commute. When the traffic is and you get a free pass through the Mackenzie Exchange.
Yes.
It's only 15 minutes from my house, so not too bad. And so the commute was just my biggest obstacle. And the neighborhood has grown on me. I go for walks down in the inlet over behind the mall here, and they're wonderful. But the mall here has a community feeling. We support each other. We really try and look out for the other merchants and customers. We keep an eye on customers. And we're sitting at the Kinder Cup right now.
Yes.
And this is a non-profit organization that runs that. And there's a lot of that around here. We know each other's names.
So important in today's society.
Yeah, we have customers right here in the mall that appreciate us, and we try and do business with them as well. So it's synergy.
Yes, absolutely.
So I like this. I like this area. It's grown up, and I think that the improvements that View Royal has done to the community and their plans and their targets are very healthy.
That's great, Les. So I think that what you love most. What are your favorite restaurants in the neighborhood?
Okay, well, I really like the Apple Tree, and they are also customers, and we're customers of theirs. And then one other one that I should mention, and I don't think very many people know about it, is the Blue Nile Cafe. Yes, over in Esquimalt.
Yes.
I think it's on Head.
Yes.
And I also know the owner of that one, and it's East African food, and I just love this stuff. Yeah, it's exotic and it's different, and people would have to have an open mind to go there, but it's absolutely delicious.
I think we'll make an arrangement to head over there in the near future,
Yeah.
here, Wes. Okay, so what is something most people don't know about you?
Oh, I have a dark,
Just to put you on the
I have a
spot.
dark side.
Not possible.
I can be grumpy and gruff, and people look at my happy exterior and stuff, but if I'm tested in the wrong way, the wolf comes out, so
It would have to be pretty
the bear.
extreme to think that.
It happened yesterday, but it was a good story. Yesterday I had a customer that was unreasonable, and I stuck up for myself, and the customer actually saw where they were making a mistake and backed down and apologized, and we made nice. So the bear is handy every once in a while, so let the bear just kind of growl a little.
Hey, that's fair enough. It's a healthy balance. Agreed. So why do you think it's important for people to shop local?
Oh, hope I'm not too long with this answer. So, I look at Vancouver Island as an organism or an organization that can be intact. And there's money out and there's money in. So when we are buying gasoline, it's money out. When we're paying for like energy and resources, often it's money out. A lot of times it's money out when it comes to groceries, because a good part of the year we're bringing our produce in from California South America or somewhere like that, Mexico. And if you look at that, an organization that, like a family, and the money is, there's more money going out than money coming in, the family's financial stresses and financial health is harmed, and you can't afford to do the nice things for your kids, others that you want. And it's very much like Vancouver Island. And so shopping local is a way of kind of stopping the bleeding, you know, and being an island with, we used to have abundant resources here. The fishing, the logging, the lumber industry, there was some mining on the island as well. And then tourism started coming in. And so the money in at that time wasn't a problem, and that's one of the reasons why we have the infrastructure here in Vancouver Island. And now we're kind of more maintaining what we purchased in the past. And I'm looking for Vancouver Island to prosper, and one of those ways of doing it is to keep the money from bleeding out of the island, keep it local. Not to be greedy about it, you can't share any of it because it has to. It has to go out and come in. You can't get away from it. But if you're buying all your products from a large American box store or somebody that only carries products that come from China, that's not sustainable. So that's my long answer.
I love it. Bang on. Okay. Who from your childhood had the biggest impact on you, and what did that person teach you?
Oh, that was my football coach in junior high school. His name is Bud Forbes. He just passed away this year, and he taught me leadership, and he mentored me. So it was a very beneficial relationship that it was just found.
Yes, absolutely. What position did you play?
Mostly on defense. I was captain by grade 10, and I played middle linebacker.
I'm a huge football fan. As a gal growing up, we never had the chance to play football. So
Yeah.
rugby was the closest.
Oh yeah, and I played rugby too. Yeah, and I loved rugby probably just as much as football.
Yes. A bit different, but
Yeah.
so much fun.
Yes.
Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm glad you enriched.
Very much.
Okay. So if a young person asked you for advice on how to live their life, what would you tell them?
One of my biggest values is transparency. And if you don't have things to hide, it takes the stress out of your life. Because you're not always watching your words carefully. What did I tell this person? Having to remember, So I don't think I have much to hide, and I think it's served me very well.
Gosh, it's tough to even ask a question at that point, but now, because I always
what
see you
about
work,
you?
and say, that's true. That's a whole other conversation. So, what else do you do besides work? Because I always see you working hard. Do you ever get a moment?
Yes. Right now I work. I rode one of those last year, but this year it's part. That was a hobby last year.
Okay.
Right now, I'm just trying to find new little nooks and crannies in Victoria to hike in.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, undiscovered places undiscovered by me. Obviously, I see other people there, and they've discovered it too. But there's some delightful places that I wasn't aware of in Victoria that you can do a good 1 hour circuitous hike in, and that's what I'm always looking for. And I'm still discovering more. Victoria's just so full of these places.
Gold
Yeah.
nuggets everywhere.
Yes,
You've got to
it
be
is.
able to explore and
Yeah.
have that adventure side.
Yeah.
Perfect. So what does the future hold for you, Wes?
Well, I'm just working towards cutting back now. I'm in the shop 5 days a week right now, and we have a plan put together so that I'm down to 2 days a week, and I'll still do a lot of the business stuff, bookkeeping from home, but we found a way of me remotely accessing the store's computer, and so the computer can be operational in the store still. I don't have to take it home with me, but I can actually run it with my mouse and keyboard from home, and and or other places for that matter. I might be able to log in through other Wi-Fi or other access points, and so I'll be able to keep in touch. I don't have retirement's not a thing in my vocabulary. I have a lot of other projects that I want to work on. So and they're in a prioritized list.
Nice.
Yeah.
You
And
don't usually see that.
Yeah. We have a house that's built in 1962, and it needs a lot of updating. So that's I'll be looking at that. That's the first on the list of many things.
Well, that's great because I love homes from the '60s, good bones, good
There's good bones.
foundation.
Yeah.
So that'll definitely keep you
Yes.
busy. I can't wait to see it. So how do you want to be remembered?
Oh, I didn't read that one.
Ah!
That's
It's a
sneak-
throw for a
I read
loop.
her list before, and I was ready for every. You might have seen that I was kind of ready for these questions. That one I missed. Well, how do I want to be remembered? I guess the same way my dad is remembered. A strong but gentle man. Who cares about others. And hopefully remembered as an unselfish person. Hopefully.
Well, from what I've seen, I don't think we need to be worried.
Well, we have our moments, right?
We all do.
Yeah.
But that's beautifully put as a surprise question there. And the
Off balance, completely off balance. on that.
classic journalism at its best.
Sneak attack.
So the final question, because you've been so generous with your time, Wes, what is the best way for customers to contact you?
Oh, and you've got a list here.
I do.
And it's not on. So the one we are not too tech savvy as far as the Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. I see all that stuff out there, and I have a Facebook account, and I think even our store has a Facebook account. It's just not used very much. The best way is to go to the Mount Doug Springs website, so www.mountdougsprings.com, and just email me from there. And email is the very best way of getting in contact, making an order, having some questions asked. That's the best way, and I'm getting better at typing.
Hey, perfect. Well, thank you, Wes, and thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Don't hesitate. Come on down. The Ultimate Water Shop. It's so much fun. I've been coming here for years. So get out here, support local, and come say hi to Wes. All right, thank you so much, hon.
You're welcome.
And we'll talk soon.